Jai Hind everyone. I welcome you all to this video lecture. I am Dr. Vandana Gupta, Assistant Professor in Ajay Kumar Garg Engineering College in the Department of Applied Science and Humanities. Today we are going to discuss a very important topic, that is hardness of water. This topic is not only important from theory point of view, but it also has great practical relevance in engineering chemistry and public health. So let's get started. In today's lecture, we will cover what is the meaning of hardness, what is the cause of hardness, types of hardness, expression of hardness, advantage and disadvantage of hardness, and finally, the removal of hardness by zeolite process. Water is the most precious abiotic component of the ecosystem for sustaining life on this planet Earth. So it should be free from toxic chemicals, certain harmful microorganisms, and certain type of impurities. As we see, 97% water is salty water, that is not potable. More than 2% water is locked in polar ice caps, and only less than 1% water is a fresh water. Now we will see the major problems in water. The first problem is alkalinity. Alkalinity means the total content of those substances in water that causes an increased concentration of hydroxide ion due to hydrolysis or due to dissociation. The alkalinity is mainly due to the presence of hydroxide ion, carbonate ions and bicarbonate ions. The knowledge of alkalinity is necessary for controlling corrosion, neutralizing the acidic solution, and calculating the amount of lime and soda needed for softening of water. The second problem is salinity. Salinity means the total content of dissolved salt in water. It is also a crucial factor affecting the aquatic ecosystem and influencing the factors like density of water, oxygen solubility, and survival of various organisms. Okay, now we will move to the main topic, that is the hardness. Hardness is the total amount of dissolved minerals in water, mainly calcium and magnesium. So, presence of calcium and magnesium makes the water hard. If the hardness of water is in between 0 to 17 ppm, that is called soft water, that is used for the laboratory purpose. And if the hardness in the range of 60 to 120 ppm, that is moderately hard, that is potable water. If the hardness is increased and more than 120 ppm, then it is called hard water. And if it is increased more than 80 ppm, then it is called very hard water. And it is not suitable for drinking purpose. Okay, now we will understand what is hardness. The soap consuming capacity of water is known as hardness, or we can say the property of water which prevents the lather formation of soap is called hardness. Hardness is due to the presence of certain salts of calcium, magnesium and other heavy metal ions such as iron, aluminium and manganese that is dissolved in water. When a sample of hard water is treated with soap, it does not produce lather. But on the other hand, it produces white scum or precipitate, which does not have any detergent value. We can understood this by the following reaction. This is the formula of soap. Soaps are generally sodium or potassium salts of higher fatty acids. So this is a soap. Sodium stearate is a formula of soap. When this soap is react with hard water contains calcium or magnesium ions. So calcium and magnesium ions present in hard water react with soap and produce calcium stearate or magnesium stearate. Calcium stearate is insoluble in water, so white scum or precipitate is formed and lather will not be produced. Lather will not be produced until all the cations such as calcium 2+ and magnesium 2+ are finally removed from the water. After that, lather will be produced. That's why we say the soap consuming capacity of water is known as hardness. Okay, we will move to the next part, the types of hardness. Hardness are of two types. First is temporary hardness and second is permanent hardness. Temporary hardness is also called carbonate hardness or alkaline hardness, while permanent hardness is known as non-carbonate hardness or non-alkaline hardness. Temporary hardness is due to the presence of dissolved salts or bicarbonates of calcium and magnesium. Bicarbonates are, this is a formula of bicarbonates. So, the salt which causes temporary hardness is calcium bicarbonate and magnesium bicarbonate. Mainly, these two salts in water causes temporary hardness. This type of hardness can be easily removed by boiling. That's why it is called temporary hardness. We can see the reaction, how the temporary hardness will remove by boiling. Because calcium bicarbonate is the main reason for temporary hardness. When this calcium bicarbonate is heated, it will form calcium carbonate, and this calcium carbonate is insoluble in water. So we can easily filter out and temporary hardness will be removed by the boiling. In similar way, if the hard water contain magnesium bicarbonate, it will convert into magnesium hydroxide after heating. It is also insoluble in water, so we can remove temporary hardness by boiling. Next is permanent hardness. Permanent hardness is due to the presence of chloride, sulfates and nitrates of calcium and magnesium. So there are mainly 6 salts in water which causes permanent hardness. For example, calcium chloride, magnesium chloride, calcium sulfate, magnesium sulfate and calcium nitrate and magnesium nitrate. These are the mainly 6 salts which causes permanent hardness in water. This type of hardness cannot be removed by boiling. To remove this type of hardness, we have to use some special methods such as zeolite method, ion exchange, lime soda and reverse osmosis, RO. In this lecture, we will discuss zeolite method for removal of temporary and permanent hardness later on. Next is degree of hardness, or we can say expression of hardness. The concentration of hardness causing salt is usually expressed in terms of equivalent amount of calcium carbonate. The choice of calcium carbonate is due to the following 2 reasons. Because first is calcium carbonate is the most insoluble salt in water, and second, the equivalent weight of calcium carbonate is 50 and molecular weight is 100, so that calculation becomes easy. By using 2 formulas, we can convert any salt into equivalent of calcium carbonate. Degree of hardness, or we can say calcium carbonate equivalent, is strength of hardness causing salt into 50. 50 is the equivalent weight of calcium carbonate and divided by equivalent weight of hardness producing salts. We can use second formula also. Degree of hardness or calcium carbonate equivalent is equal to strength of hardness producing salt into 100. 100 is the molecular weight of calcium carbonate. So we have to take molecular weight of hardness producing salt. So by using 2 formulas, any one formula, we can convert any salt into calcium carbonate equivalent. These are the units of hardness. Mainly we use 4 units, milligram per liter. 1 milligram per liter is equal to 1 milligram of calcium carbonate equivalent hardness present in 1 liter of water. The second unit is parts per million. 1 ppm is equal to 1 part of calcium carbonate equivalent hardness present in the 10 to the power 6 parts of the water. And the third unit is degree French. Degree French, 1 degree French is equal to 1 part of calcium carbonate equivalent hardness per 10 to the power 5 parts of water. And last unit is degree Clark, and degree Clark is equal to 1 part of calcium carbonate equivalent hardness in 70,000 parts of water. We can convert other units by using this relationship. 1 ppm is equal to 1 milligram per liter is equal to 0.1 degree French is equal to 0.07 degree Clark. This relationship is very useful for numerical purpose. Okay, we will discuss the disadvantage of hard water. What is the problem of hard water? Firstly, hard water does not produce lather, so soap efficiency is reduced. Secondly, scale formation is seen in bottles, kettles, pipes, heaters. If we use hard water, then the scale formation is easily visible. Laundry problem, skin and hair issues, clogs pipes, not suitable for industry because hard water create problem in boilers. There are many problems related with boilers such as scale and sludge, priming and foaming, boiler corrosion. These are the problems related with the hard water. And it also affect the cooking because hard water increase the boiling point of water and the taste is not good if we cook the food in hard water. And finally, hard water increases our electricity bill because more fuel is required to heat the substance, heat the water because scale are the bad conductor of heat. Even hard water has some advantages also. If we calcium and magnesium, if we the minimum amount of calcium and magnesium is good for health because calcium and magnesium is essential mineral for bones. Some people suggest hard water has better taste, reduce lead poisoning, and it is also useful for plant growth also. Okay. Finally, we will discuss softening of water. Softening means the removal or reduction of hardness causing substance or salt in water is called softening of hard water. There are mainly 4 methods which we will use for softening purpose of hard water. In this lecture, we will discuss zeolite method of removal of hardness. Zeolite is also called permuted. Zeolite is a hydrated sodium aluminosilicate. This is the formula of zeolite. Na2O Al2O3 X SiO2 dot YH2O. This is the formula of zeolite. Zeolite is capable of exchanging its sodium ions with the hardness producing cations in water. Because sodium ions are loosely packed, so they can reversibly exchange its sodium ions with the hardness producing calcium or magnesium ions. Okay, now the softening process by zeolite method. Zeolite is simply represented as Na2Ze. These are the reaction, but I will discuss the zeolite softener. This is a zeolite softener. Zeolite softener consists of a steel tank. This is a steel tank. It is packed with a thick layer of zeolite. Zeolite is Na2Ze. We represent zeolite as Na2Ze. When hard water enters at the top, hard water generally contains calcium and magnesium ions. When this hard water enters at the top, it passes through the zeolite bed and it will convert into calcium or magnesium zeolite. For example, zeolite is Na2Ze. Hard water contains calcium 2 plus or magnesium 2 plus. Then it will convert into calcium zeolite or magnesium zeolite. And the outgoing water, this is the outgoing water, and outgoing water contains sodium salt. So that by this process, we will get soft water. I will explain the whole phenomena by taking the reaction. If we want to remove temporary hardness, then these reactions are taking place. Zeolite is Na2Ze. Temporary hardness is due to the presence of calcium bicarbonate or magnesium bicarbonate. When the hard water containing temporary hardness passes through the zeolite, then it will convert into calcium zeolites, and outgoing water contains sodium bicarbonate. In the similar way, if the water containing magnesium bicarbonate, then it will convert into sodium zeolite will be converted into magnesium zeolite, and the outgoing water contains sodium salt. By this method, we can remove temporary hardness. In the similar way, we also remove permanent hardness. Permanent hardness is mainly due to the presence of calcium chloride, magnesium chloride, calcium sulfate, magnesium sulfate. So these calcium sulfate, magnesium chloride react with the zeolite, and zeolite converted into sodium zeolite converted into calcium zeolite or magnesium zeolite, and the outgoing water contains sodium salts. So that's by this method we will remove temporary or permanent hardness. We can see in the zeolite process, zeolite softener. This is a zeolite softener. Hard water enters at the top. It passes through the zeolite bed, and the outgoing water contains only sodium salts. It means calcium 2 plus and magnesium 2 plus. These ions are exchanged with the sodium ions. And hardness is mainly due to the presence of calcium or magnesium ion, not because of the sodium ions. So we will get the soft water by this process. Okay, now regeneration of zeolite bed. After some time, zeolite will be exhausted because all the sodium zeolite is converted into calcium zeolite or magnesium zeolite after softening the water. So it cannot work further. We have to recharge the zeolite bed. At this stage, we will stop water from the top and it needs recharging. For recharging, we have taken sodium chloride, or we can say 10% brine solution, to regenerate the zeolite bed by the following reaction. After some time, zeolite bed get exhausted, which is regenerated by using NaCl solution by this reaction. Because our sodium zeolite is converted into calcium zeolite, so we will react with sodium chloride and form sodium zeolite. This is a used zeolite. This is 10% brine solution. By the reaction, we will get regenerated zeolite. And these are the washing. Washings are drained by an outlet to the sink. We can see in the figure. These are the washing. And washing contain calcium chloride, magnesium chloride, calcium sulfate, etc. These are the removed by a sink. So this is the process of water softening by zeolite process. This is very important process. And finally, we will discuss advantage and disadvantages of zeolite process. First advantages. First advantage is it automatically adjusts itself according to the hardness of water. It means temporary or permanent both type of hardness we can remove. Soft water of 10 to 15 ppm can be produced by the method. We cannot produce 0 ppm hardness water by this process. The equipment is very cheap and occupy less space. It is easy to operate. It does not require more time and skill. It have some disadvantage also. If water is turbid, then output is reduced. And treated water contains more sodium salts and it not be suitable for highly acidic water. Because only cations are exchanged, not anions. So we cannot use for the highly acidic water. So zeolite process is complete now. Okay. Thank you all for watching and keep learning. I will see you in the next lecture.